Hey, so today I'm going to do a bit of gameplay, and the reason is because I reach a point here where I believe some of these sprites they will show once I get some abilities on the game. One I'm sure of is swimming. I think some of these are about swimming, but I'm not sure which ones. Um, Maybe here is swimming. Maybe it's related with jumping. I know some of these. The feet here, they are related with jumping, probably this one and this one. So anyway, I just want to go a bit further into the game. That's actually one of the most, I guess, the parts of the project that I will enjoy the most, because I somehow never get tired of playing this game. And I'm gonna use this emulator, but just because it's the one I use for debugging, and I want to have a few save states here, but the emulator doesn't give really so many options to, you know, if I play in full screen, I will have some huge pixels there. Actually, many people hate filters, but I like them. So I would like to play with a filter. And then if I could just play with a joypad, that would be better. Okay, let's see if I can. Yeah, okay. I have to repeat it. And looks like the emulator just hung. Yep. That's not good. As long as it doesn't hang while playing, all is good. Okay, looks like we are done. Okay. So, what happens if I do this on full screen? It doesn't use the same render. Oh, and it's stretching the image, which is not okay. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is, I have this render. Again, as I said, most of people hate the filters. I don't have so much problem with them. Some are really bad. It's true that sometimes they completely distort the image, but some of them are fine. I have a big monitor, and when I'm, like when I'm playing in this monitor and I'm so close to it and with these huge pixels, for me it's not so, yeah, it's very faithful to the original, but not so nice. I prefer filters, and I don't think it's so faithful to the original, because anyways the original you will play it in one of those CRT old TVs, which somehow they filter the image too, actually quite a lot. So let's just call the hero. I'm gonna skip through the story quite fast. Of course, let's enable song. And we are ready. Now here there was supposed to be firework after you talk to the three. Okay, there they are. Just gonna do a small change here because I realize I'm more comfortable playing with the analog controller of the gamepad. I have an Xbox gamepad. Oh no, please, no, not again. Yes, so this version of the emulator is really buggy, I guess. It does have those nice features for debugging, but it's just completely crashing all the time. Let's see if I manage to configure this correctly, and maybe that's the only problem. Enable sound. I'm gonna save the configuration so I don't have to do this again. Oh. More or less the aspect ratio of the Mega Drive. One thing I like of the Mega Drive is that the aspect ratio is a bit wider than consoles of the same generation. For example, the Super Famicom or Super Nintendo is much narrower. And in fact, I noticed that many emulators, when you're playing an emulator, the Super Nintendo, you actually have 4:3 aspect ratio, which is not the right one for the Super Nintendo. They are stretching the image a bit. I'm not sure why is that. I think I know why is that. It's because back then the TVs were actually 4:3, most of them. Even if the Super Nintendo console it was narrower, it was 256 pixels by 224, if I remember correctly. The game developers knew that it was gonna stretch a bit, and the way they designed the games, they designed them in a way that when stretched to a 4:3 format, they still look okay. But that's not really the right resolution. In fact, I know this is not in the topic, but it's interesting. Not sure what is the right name for this stuff. Maybe this one. Yes, so here if you look for Super Nintendo, this is the real ratio as it was designed in pixels. Yeah. But then you have the display aspect ratio, which is the one that actually the people is gonna experience. And if you look at that for the Super Nintendo, it's actually 1:1. It's not even this one, it's even narrower, it's a perfect square. And this is because the pixels, they are actually, the pixels themselves, they are narrower. once you put this number of pixels and you multiply by this, which is the ratio of vertical to horizontal dimensions of each pixel, then you get the real ratio. So it's 1 by 1, and if you go to Mega Drive, it's a 4 by 3, but I think this is just in case of the PAL version, like European version, because the how do you say this, American version, the NTSC version, is not this resolution, it's actually this resolution, which is the one they use in the Sega Nomad and the Neo Geo. And here the actual pixel ratio is 10 by 7, like when you design the game. If you go to the number of pixels, you just take these dimensions, you get a 10 by 7, which is already quite wider than 4 by 3. But then the real actual ratio which people experience is even wider, it's 3 by 2. So it's nice because it's a bit more modern in that sense, because nowadays we just have wider screens, 16 by 9 as the most common. The frame rate is kind of terrible. I think it's because of the emulator. It's not a real normal emulator, so sorry about that. But it should be okay. It's not gonna be a lot of gameplay anyway. Brave Among actually gets frozen later on. Well, let's get but it's not so bad, the frame rate. Let's get straight to the castle. Let's see how the king talks to Amon, or Amon maybe. If you ignore everything else, it's that easy to just be able to go to Rafflesia, where you learn to throw your blade, which is kind of a neat mechanic on the game. Oh, it was just okay. I guess my memory is not so fresh. I do remember that here is the guy that teaches you how to throw the sword, but you need some 20 malins. I just changed a bit the way I played because I wanted to give a better experience, and with that emulator it wasn't easy because the frame rate was really bad. But then I tested a bit more, and it turns out that if I use full screen on the same emulator, then it's quite smooth. So now it's a much better experience, and I can continue showing you a bit the progress. I plan to play until getting the jump, maybe. That will unlock quite a few more sprites that I need. I'm not sure if I need to actually earn this medal, the bronze one, but I guess I will just do it. I think it was pretty quick. I don't want to just move forward and finish it super soon. I want to collect a few coins, and since it's the first gameplay I do in a while, I just want to enjoy it a bit and show you a bit the game. It's hard to kill, but each of them gives you a coin, so quite worth it. Just a second, I'm trying to see if maybe an option to make it a bit smoother. So here's the water. It doesn't really look like a different animation. It looks like exactly the same thing for the character sprite. This is the first time I'm in water. because here he's not swimming, but I don't think he's ever truly swimming, except that level in which he's under the water later on. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and just be able to throw the sword. Alright, okay, so one of the animations is actually this one of the sprites I was missing. I'm not gonna do it now. I was just wondering when this face is coming, and that arm. I think it's just one sprite for this, but if it happens in every direction, then it's already a few. Okay, interesting. Let's go now to Dahlia Valley. Could easily be the first game I ever played in which you can just save in any moment. It wasn't so common back then. There were some games with save states like Sonic 3, but it will just save automatically once you complete a level, for example. But actually here it doesn't save. Like if I save now, it doesn't take you back when you load to exactly the same point. It's not exactly like a save state, but almost, because I think it reminds every single coin you took how many how many apples you have. Actually, the first time you come here and you have to beat the wolf, I don't think I need to actually go to the top, but I'm sure now. But do I really have to go to the top? I guess not. I guess it's here where... Huh. I think I should take some... Is this a problem of the emulator, this blue background? I don't remember this happening with coins. So it is strange. Definitely the one taking me to the wolf. If there are some apples, I'd rather take them. I'm not such a good player, so I can easily lose here. But okay, no, I'm not gonna lose. Okay, nice. Actually, I have a little story to tell about this point where you beat the wolf. When I bought this game, I think I didn't buy it. I just exchanged it by other game which was common back then. Then I was playing with the game. I wasn't so much liking it in the beginning. I did like it a bit, but I didn't know the full potential of the game yet. It was just I didn't know anything about it. I just took it, which sometimes is the best way. No previous information. I just took the game. And I was playing it, and then my dad came. My dad also likes video games. Before the Mega Drive, we have a Spectrum computer, 128 kilobytes. We played a few games there, and then we got the Mega Drive, and he was playing to some games like Flashback. It's a game he played a lot. He didn't like Sonic at all. And then when he saw this game, he thought it was crap, just because maybe the graphics look. It was the first RPG game we ever saw, both of us, and the graphics, to me, they look pretty good now, but back then I guess they look a bit childish and simple, no? If you compare it maybe with Flashback, for example, which is a more mature game, more realistic. He was kind of telling me, like, how did you exchange it for this game? That was a bad idea, it doesn't look good. So then I kept playing a bit, and I went to... Well, I beat that wolf, and I reached even further, and then I went to bed. And then in the middle of the night, he woke me up, and it turns out that he was playing it, and he was loving it, and he was so obsessive about it that he woke me up just to ask me how to beat the wolf. He didn't know how to beat it. So I explained him, and then the next days he kept playing, and at the end he finished the game. Well, I finished it, I think, sooner, and then he finished the game too. So that's the story. I think that shows how this game attracts to all kind of players. So you might give an initial wrong impression, like the typical wrong impression is it's just a Zelda clone and not as good. Actually, I find the plot of the Super Nintendo Zelda a bit too generic. Actually, I hate those games where you start and they say you, hey look, there are 5 temples, you have to beat them all and then kill the final boss. Or there are 7 gems, you have to find them, there are 8 keys, there are Temple of Fire, of Water, of Earth, I don't know what is there, Wind. And you beat them. I don't know, there is just, it's just so predefined what you are gonna find there. It's just the same. And also, you already know what is gonna happen next. No, doesn't matter if you are into just the first hour of the game. You know that you are gonna go to the Temple of Fire, and then comes the Temple of Water, and then comes the next temple, and the next temple, and then there is gonna be some kind of final boss. A Link to the Past is not exactly like that. It's better than that, but I still prefer this plot here in Soleil, even if it's maybe a bit more linear. There is a bit of mystery about what is coming next. In fact, there's gonna be a moment now that is already kind of mind-blowing for, I guess, this kind of game in that generation. Like, it looks like where it's a game where you just go there, beating monsters, making progress, and unlocking like new areas of the map. But then there is interesting twist here where you start talking to animals, and then you cannot talk to humans anymore. And then, thanks to that, you can know a bit what animals think, and then even more interestingly, you can also talk to monsters, and you can see a bit the point of view of the monsters. As I said, you never know what's gonna come next. Even when you unlock like the full map, then there is a bit of backtracking, and you have to go to some previous areas, and things change. Well, anyway, there is a bit of everything. I don't remember so much A Link to the Past, so I'm not gonna say that it's much worse in that sense, but I do remember Ocarina of Time for the N64, and it was kind of this temple, that temple, that temple, and that temple, and then I guess rescue the princess who was kidnapped. Well, I don't remember that precisely, but I do remember the different like temples that you have to complete. You could measure how far you are from reaching the end of the game, basically, all the time. I don't know. Even if dungeons are very typical in these games, I kind of enjoy more, instead of so much danger, just the adventure, more like in the outside. I like dungeons too, but I also like exploring, just exploring different areas. In Soleil there is quite a bit of that. Okay, let's focus here. So now I should be able to talk to this flower. Okay, and the next thing I have to do is to get my dog. If I don't get the dog, then I'm not gonna be able to get the jump ability, because that's a rabbit who teach me but doesn't trust humans, and it trusts dogs, so I need to collect my dog. And then there's another very neat ability, the like mechanic of the game, how you are able to carry animals with you and combine them for different abilities. I find this very amazing, unique, actually better than any mechanic of Zelda games. Okay, so now we can place the dog here. Of course, if I talk to any human now, I'm not gonna understand anything. Let's go back to the valley. Save again. And now I do have to reach to the top. Oops, I have to pay attention. That green color it hurts you. I don't know exactly what it represents. It might represent, I don't know, spikes, little spikes. No, it's more like some poisoning water. I'm not gonna take this because I think that takes you back to the bottom. So now we can move to the beach, which is one of my favorite areas. I actually have already the ability I wanted to achieve. I just feel like doing just a bit more of gameplay before stopping and coming back to the sprites. So again, talking about Zelda versus Soleil. Of course, there are different games. Zelda has also some amazing things. It's more open world. You just have a big map and you can move freely. Although it's not completely freely, they are blocking you because you don't have this and that, and so on. But you have that sense of moving freely. I find Soleil map pretty cute and I like it too, but it is clearly more linear in that sense. But for example, in Soleil you can jump, which might seem like a small thing, but when I found out I couldn't jump in Ocarina of Time, which is the first Zelda I played, it was kind of surprising and frustrating how it was just jumping automatically. It really removes freedom from you. Zelda Ocarina of Time is a bit more realistic already. It's a 3D game, and you still cannot jump. So it's a bit weird because you know the character should be able to jump, but you're just not able to do it. Obviously, it simplifies a lot the game design if you're not able to jump. But here, yes, you can jump, and you can actually jump pretty far later on. Who was there? Let's see, we reach there, and then we stop the video. Here. Oops, not reaching there. Yes. I think every review or like web page about this game, it will mention Sonic and it will show a screenshot of Sonic. I mean, of this specific spot. It's nice touch. There is clearly not animation while swimming, so I'm still unsure about all the different sprites. It's just a bit hard to understand. Of course, some of them they will show when an enemy hits you, so I have to also explore that. Let's get hit on purpose. Did I beat all the enemies? No, there were some here below, I think. That's true. Okay, that's good to know. I think it's just one sprite, so nothing complicated. Obviously in every direction. That's the thing with this game. It has actually 8 directions, so I'm not sure if you're in this direction, if the sprite will change. Yeah, I guess yes. So anyway, I don't want to lose. Save. That's it for this gameplay. Next, more sprite work, and we'll finally start trying to integrate the character hero into the Solarus engine. I never done that, so let's see what happens. Thanks.